NBA trade rumors. Giannis Antetokounmpo almost landed in Brooklyn last summer in bombshell move, Nets still in the hunt. The NBA landscape may have looked very different today if one bombshell move had gone through last summer. According to growing league buzz, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the two-time MVP and face of the Milwaukee Bucks, was shockingly close to landing in Brooklyn. Yes, Brooklyn. And even though the deal ultimately fell apart, the implications of that near-miss are still rippling across the league, with insiders now claiming the Nets haven't walked away from the idea just yet. On the surface, the idea sounds wild. Giannis in Brooklyn? In a Nets jersey? But when you peel back the layers, the rumor starts to feel a lot more real, and a lot more dangerous for the rest of the NBA. Last summer, Milwaukee was quietly navigating uncertainty. The Bucks were coming off another frustrating playoff exit, questions were swirling about roster depth, and Giannis' long-term future was once again a topic behind closed doors. While Giannis never publicly demanded a trade, rival executives reportedly began sniffing around, sensing an opportunity if the Bucks chose to reset rather than double down. That's where Brooklyn entered the picture. League chatter suggests the Nets aggressively explored scenarios that would have allowed them to land Giannis without fully gutting their future. After moving on from the Kevin Durant-Kyrie Irving era, Brooklyn had quietly rebuilt a treasure chest of draft picks, flexible contracts, and young role players, the exact ingredients required to even start a Giannis conversation. According to insiders, talks never reached the official proposal stage, but frameworks were discussed. And that alone is seismic. Imagine the league-shifting consequences. Giannis Antetokounmpo joining a major market team with cap flexibility, elite player development, and a front office eager to re-establish relevance. Brooklyn wouldn't just have landed a superstar, they would have instantly rewritten their post-super team narrative. But why would Giannis even consider Brooklyn? The answer lies in control, legacy, and timing. Giannis has always preached loyalty, but is also fiercely competitive. At this stage of his career, championship windows matter. The Bucks' core, while still strong, is aging. Contracts are heavy. Flexibility is limited. Meanwhile, Brooklyn could have offered Giannis a chance to be the unquestioned franchise cornerstone while helping shape the roster around him from the ground up. That kind of influence is rare, even for superstars. Still, the deal never materialized. Milwaukee ultimately chose to push forward, believing Giannis would remain committed and that the roster could still contend. Brooklyn pivoted, continuing its patient rebuild rather than forcing a reckless all-in move. But here's the key part of this rumor that fans can't ignore. The Nets are reportedly still monitoring the situation. Fast forward to now, and the same underlying factors remain. Giannis is still elite. The Bucks are still under pressure to maximize every season. And Brooklyn still has assets, arguably more than ever. Multiple future first-round picks, movable contracts, and young players who could headline a blockbuster offer if Milwaukee ever changes direction. That's why this rumor refuses to die. Around the league, executives understand that superstar trades rarely happen overnight. They simmer. They build. They start as whispers long before they become headlines. And the fact that Giannis to Brooklyn discussions almost happened once has teams wondering if the door is still cracked open. From Brooklyn's perspective, the logic is obvious. The Nets have been missing a true franchise-altering star since Durant's departure. They're competitive, well-coached, and financially flexible, but not feared. Giannis changes that instantly. He's a top-5 player who guarantees relevance, ticket sales, national TV games, and playoff expectations the moment he steps on the floor. For Giannis, Brooklyn would represent a fresh challenge without the chaos that plagued the Nets' previous superstar experiment. No drama-filled super team. No constant media circus. Just basketball, structure, and a chance to build something sustainable. Of course, there are massive obstacles. Milwaukee would demand a king's ransom. Any Giannis trade would instantly become one of the biggest in NBA history, rivaling deals involving Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Anthony Davis, or Kevin Durant. Brooklyn would have to decide how much of its future it's willing to sacrifice, and whether Giannis alone is enough to justify it. And then there's Giannis himself. Publicly, he continues to express commitment to winning above all else. He's never ruled out staying in Milwaukee forever, but has also made it clear that loyalty only works if the organization remains committed to championship-level ambition. That subtle shift in messaging is exactly why rival teams are paying attention. One league executive summed it up perfectly: if Giannis ever becomes available, everyone's calling, but Brooklyn is one of the few teams actually equipped to make it real. That's what makes this rumor so compelling. It's not fan fiction. It's not social media noise. It's rooted in timing, assets, and quiet conversations that almost changed the league. And even if Giannis never ends up in Brooklyn, the fact that he almost did last summer tells us something important. The NBA's power structure is far more fragile than it looks. One decision, one shift, one bold front office move, and everything changes. For now, Giannis remains in Milwaukee. The Nets remain patient. And the rest of the league remains on alert. Because if a Giannis to Brooklyn deal nearly happened once, it can absolutely happen again.